Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It's the Monday night Zoom edition. And we had an interesting weekend with Bitcoin and Ethereum and the other cryptos. Bitcoin shot up to 50K, then gave about 1,000 of it back today. Now it's been trending up. So we'll see if it can reclaim 50,000. Let's go to the chart. All right. I went with a dark chart. You guys see that okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
And this is the 5-minute Bitcoin. I simplified it some. I took out some of the extra Bollinger Bands and things like that because they really showed up on the black or with the dark background. So still have the Bollingers in though. All right, we're way past the channel or the low point, and we've been pumping up, as I said moments ago, up to 50K. I've got to extend this channel. I forgot to do that. So let's do that now. So we got this rising channel here. And Bitcoin bounced off a few days ago and again above 50K, dropped down to 49 and has come up a little bit since then. Let's look on the hour, see if it's a little easier to see. Yeah, I thought we could be in for Dump City when I saw this action here, but rebounded pretty well. 49.7, little dip down to 49.5. We'll see what happens tonight and tomorrow. See if we can get 50 back. All right. And Ethereum. It did break through that nice trend line we had last week. And where is that trend line? Oh, it's purple on the dark. That's why I can't see it. Let's make an adjustment on this. Put it here, change the color. Sorry, I wasn't better prepared. Yeah, I'll go on the 4-hour. All right, so we've had multiple touches in this area, did break through, then shot up again, touched again, bounced off. Thought we were going to pump after this, but it might retest again. It might just go for resistance or hit this vicinity somewhere and then pop up again. We're in late August. This could be the end of our short bull run. September tends to be a down month, but maybe we'll punch past those predictions and get 50, 51, maybe up to 56, maybe 60. That would be awesome. So that's all I have about Ethereum and Bitcoin. Any questions about them or the kind of market in general?
Hey, CJ.
Hey.
Yeah, Robert here. I've got a question. Yeah, I hear a lot of projections, which are great on the upside of Bitcoin. Are you hearing anything about, possible dips and a good time when anybody's talking about buying back in further, increasing holdings?
Yeah, I haven't really heard anything recently. I'd say in the last few days about dumps going down to 30 or 20. A lot of people talk about a healthy correction or dip down to 45 or so, maybe 43 or 42 at the lowest. Everyone's got an opinion. There's nothing wrong with setting some low buy orders. in that range, especially if you're just planning on, you know, hodling and accumulating.
Yeah.
So, you know, something down here around 44, and maybe another, you know, another order around 42, maybe every $2,000 or so, depending on what your goals are and what type of trader you are and how much money you have. So
That makes sense.
yeah, that's like laddering in the CryptNation guys talk about. So
Right.
as far as trading, you know, short-term trading, like we talk about here, you know, we are seeing some resistance here on the hour, just below 49. Well, actually 48.5. This seems to be some good short-term resistance going back a few days. We'll see if it holds. So this would be maybe a short-term area to put an alert and or a, you know, a low buy order. Not financial advice.
Thank you. I will not take it as financial advice. Thanks for the opinion.
All right, you're welcome. All right, then, if there's nothing else on the general market, we will go over to Altcoin Alert. And our good friend Axia Infinity is back. It was down in the low 80s earlier today, but it's back to 94. Trading in the 70s last I looked. I didn't trade it today, but I did put a low buy order down in this vicinity here, 75.3. Again, not financial advice, but just based on the 5-minute chart, hoping to get back in and see how far we can ride this one. If I can pick up, you know, 10% in a day or two, I like that. So let's zoom out. Again, we're at, you know, the all-time high. We hit that a couple days ago, just under 83. Oh, big pump here. Okay, on the hour chart. Yeah. Hit that 83 level a couple days ago. Dropped 12%. Up, down, back up again. Down 7% since the high of a couple days ago. So we will see if I can catch that entry point, or if it plunges further and I'm stuck with it for a while. So that's what we call getting stuck. It's not really wrecked because you're in a day trade and it ends up morphing into a swing trade or a hodl for a couple months. If it goes against you and you don't want to sell, sometimes in that situation I'll just stake it somewhere and hang on. Obviously, if you use stop losses, you know, that situation will take you out, and you'll just try to buy back in with more coins with less money. So that's a strategy as well. You know, Sheldon the Sniper on Crypto Banter teaches that. As you know, I prefer ladder buying on my spot trading, so that's what I usually do. But getting ahead of myself, hasn't even dropped yet, so hopefully I can catch something down here, ride it back. You know, maybe 3%. Doesn't sound that good though. Let's look at something else. AVAX, I've heard some about this as well, as other tokens building on this. A nice little pump here on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, this one's approaching an all-time high. It's yeah, almost $60, hit 53 earlier today. Let's look at this on the hour. Yeah, did this, then down 12% today. So Altcoin Alert thinks it's going to make a comeback. And people ask sometimes, you know, why do we see Sometimes a high AA score, and then they're in the losers over here, and that's usually why, because it's been a coin that's been pumping and it's having a retrace or an adjustment or whatever you want to call it. All right, so on the 5-minute, I think we're too late for this. We could have tried to do a little trend trade above the SMA line. Again, that's not very much. It's only a couple percent in a squeeze situation like that. Better play is to wait for a dip trade or dip sequence. 1, 2, 3. This would have been a good one. Almost 3% to the SMA line. Not a bad day trade, but not great with all the pumping we've seen. So Axis and AVAX are a little disappointing right now. Let's see if we can find something that pumps better than that. XVS I've traded before. KuCoin shares, I've been trading on KuCoin more. My charts are still Binance, but I've moved 90% of my crypto off of Binance. It's scattered between about 4 different exchanges that I'm now learning to use all at once.
Me as well.
It's kind of annoying, but it's like learning software, but not as difficult as learning a database or something like that. But let's look at XVS. Okay, day chart. Just starting to come back from the May dump. Did pump up to almost $40 last week. Dropped 18%, recovered a lot of that, and dipping a little bit today. So what's this? So, and things are just looking so squeezy right now. Yeah, we only got 2% between the Bollinger Bands, so I'm not interested really in anything in here. This is kind of frustrating. I can't even show you an example of what to look for. 1, 2, 3. All right, this isn't terrible, but here we have a little bit of a squeeze and then a bubble forming. 1, 2, 3, green candle. SMA line 1.7%. You'd be in this for, about 4 or 5 hours. So not great, but not bad either. Okay. And then let's look at KCS. I've not traded this, but I have an order on it today on KuCoin. Because I think KuCoin's going to pick up, people like me who are coming off Binance. So, their governance token is probably maybe already run up as much as it's going to. Well, that's actually back in April. So, yeah, it's been coming back. Yeah, last month, wow, almost 70%. So this one's looking pretty good if you're on KuCoin. Nice run up the last couple days.
One of the things for me, CJ, on that is I keep that, and I told KuCoin to use that to pay my fees, and my fees go lower because of that. So I keep an extra 20, 30 bucks sitting over there and trade all my little coins in for it. And that way I always keep my stuff paid and I don't have to worry about it coming out of all my trades.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm open to tips about KuCoin. I haven't used it that much, so that's good to
That's
know.
all I use KuCoin and CoinX. That's
Mhm.
85% of my trades.
Okay. So do you trade, are you just looking for the smaller caps on KuCoin or just about anything?
I look for anything that'll make a buck. I actually, I'm just a little guy, so for me to buy 1,000 coins at 20 cents is a big deal. But I bought 16 AVAX today just to see where it was going because it looked a little bit open for me. So, but like I say, I like the KCS because it pays for my gas fees and stuff, and it doesn't mess with my trades. And I do the same thing on CoinX. I buy the ECI, I think it is, and I keep just 20, 30 bucks, just a number to cover what I do. Then I don't have to worry about it and I get a better price.
I like it. All right. Sage advice from Pat. So I'm going to do that too. I think when I do get that purchase for KCS where I want it, I'm just going to go ahead and maybe sell 3/4 of it and leave the rest in for fees, because I'm probably going to use KuCoin a lot more for mostly smaller cap stuff. I still have 10% of my my crypto excuse me, in Binance. They haven't kicked me off yet, but I know it's coming. So all right, well, that's all I have for the AA scores. As you know, there are other sorts we do as well. John, I thought of you this morning. I did that social activity sort, and we'll do that now. And a lot of the very bullish coins come up right away.
You're
I mean,
welcome.
this one here is a heartbreaker. Wax. Yeah, this is going to be another thing I'm going to show you guys of what not to do. Speaking of KuCoin, I was on KuCoin last night, and so I get the significant development, the SIGDEV alert at 7:30 on the Slack group for Altcoin Alert. New listing on Bitcoin for WaxP, whatever that is. So I'm looking at this candle. It's up 50% by the time I get it, which is kind of frustrating, but we all know that's how it works. So I'm thinking, if this drops down to say 22 or something like that, I'll throw a couple $100 at it, see what happens. Comes down to 24, and I don't pull the trigger, and I should have, obviously, because then it spikes up like this. I probably would have done a sell around 30, picked up 10 to 20%, and been thrilled with that result. But the reason I want to talk about this is I've had some losses in some of my leverage trading, and it's kind of bled over into my spot trading to the point where I'm hesitating, where in the past I would have been more aggressive. So on a situation like this, a lot of times these coins kind of gyrate on this news, and a lot of times they go up a little bit, not this much necessarily. This is over 100%, but anyway, the point is, I had information, it was moving, and I didn't use it the way I should have. So anyway, moral of the story: when things are looking good, you got to pull the trigger. And then we have information, we have our charts and things like that, and yeah, you can't overthink. I mean, you do a reasonable amount of investigation, mostly with the charts on the more established coins, but when you have information that's timely, you got to pounce on it. And as I've talked about before, when you have the new listing on Coinbase Pro or Binance, those are the ones that really move the market, not so much with the smaller exchanges. So, all right, so can we get in now on WaxP? It hasn't fallen off a cliff like a lot of these do. I mean, it's down. Actually pumped up again at 11:30 p.m.
Hey, CJ, why are you looking at it with Wax and Tether? And you usually do USDT. Is there a reason?
Well, yeah, this Tether is USDT. So
Well, that's a new one. Okay.
yeah, USDT stands for US dollar tether. So
Okay.
okay.
Isn't that what most of the pairs are on KuCoin?
Yes, they are on KuCoin. They are on KuCoin. On Coinbase Pro, they're mostly USD.
Have you been on it for a long time, or did you just sign on to it when the Binance stuff blew
I've
up?
had an account forever, probably for a year and a half. I just didn't use it that much. I did stake something on there for a while.
Yeah, I was just about to start one, but I don't know if they're all busy right now, but move
Yeah.
forward.
You know, like I said, it's like learning software. So, you know, I'm not thrilled about having to do it, but it's gone better than I thought it would. And, you know, my orders have been filled and they make cool sounds. And so that's always fun. And, you know,
Yeah. The wish.
you know, things like that. So, you know, Binance didn't
Worth
do that.
money,
Mhm.
money in the bank for that.
Yep. All right, so that's my Heartbreak Hotel on Wax P. Let's go to the social activity sort. I don't know what PHA is. We looked at AVAX already. IOST. Loop ring is kind of interesting, but I think it's had its run. Yeah, it's in the losers today. It was in the winners yesterday. OMG has a whole lot of bullish. And 8%, good increase, but not too much. Almost 5% on the 1 hour projected. Bullish across the board, fire. I like that. Let's check it out. This one might be on my list. Yes. Okay, day chart. Not looked at this in a while. Hit the all-time high in May. Big drop, pretty good recovery. Yeah, we're up over 100% in the last month. Yeah, kind of stair stepping up. Yeah, big pump yesterday. Dropping since then, probably coinciding with the Bitcoin drop. 8%, not that bad. But really squeezy here. And for anyone who's new, when I say squeezy, that means there's not much distance between the Bollinger Bands. I want to see this. This is better. This is a big bubble. So it's going to pump up or create a good dip sequence, usually one or the other. So we just have a couple percent between the top and the bottom. Not seeing a trade at the moment. Yeah, I don't like that. So if you want to trade OMG, I would probably look for a return. I don't know if it'll hit this area necessarily. You could try it. There's some support right around here. It's 66. At 668, 669. It's not that much lower than where you are now. Care for that. Probably want to catch it down here. 630s, 640s. That's what I would do. And then ride it back on a retrace. Yeah, it's more like it. Yeah, 7, 8, 9%. It'll probably take longer than a day, but maybe not. All right.
Yeah, that's the one that I had asked you about. I don't know if you remember on Friday.
Oh yeah.
We brought that up, and the interesting thing about that one, we brought up, it was just barely over $6 at the time. We were analyzing it, and we had guesstimated an entry, because I was trying to get in on that one. So I put in an entry at 580, Friday, which never
Uh,
hit, and then it
yeah.
went up over 20% by early Saturday.
Yeah, this was that big pump.
Yeah,
But you know, how do you know this is going to happen? Well, actually, this is today. Let's go to the 10-minute chart. Yeah, Saturday had a big move here.
yeah.
That's Friday actually, but another big move. You're trying to catch it below 6. No luck. Pretty good support there.
So close.
Yeah. Big pump up to over $7. So yeah, you know, doing the low buy order thing is it's a little bit risky, and the main risk is you don't get it. You know, and then the secondary risk is you do get it, but you catch a falling knife at 4 in the morning while you're sleeping or something.
Right.
So, you know, keep that in mind when you do that. Whenever I do that, it's a small order. It's usually maybe a quarter to a third of what I would usually put down, you know, during my waking hours. So if I have to ladder buy, I can do that and not, you know, not wreck my position, not be stuck for too long. So, all right. So anything else you guys want to talk about on Altcoin Alert before we move over to iCoinPro?
Picked up on Aave earlier from, I don't remember how I sorted or got it, but I couldn't figure out, to pull up Aave for a second and just see what the chart looks like today. And just tell me what you would think about.
Okay.
Please.
Let's overview it real quick. So had a pretty good recovery from the dump. 100%, gave some back, up over 150%, gave some more back. On the hour chart, got up here to 440, almost 450. And dropped about 20%, came back, another drop, another recovery. It's down about 7% from last week's high.
Yeah, I was looking at it at the flat spot there. I just couldn't decide where a good entry point was, so I never did. But
Nothing's jumping out at me. This would have been pretty
Yeah.
good.
yeah, you know, I realized that right after I missed.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
looking dip sequence.
Yeah.
So
missed
you got a
that.
strong green candle.
Was
Even
that
if you're, you could even wait for a MACD cross down here, get in around here.
Yeah, that would have been good.
So that would have been
Coulda, woulda,
ideal.
shoulda.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
It was
1%.
it just seemed like it was jumping all over the place. I couldn't grab a handle on it, you know.
Well, you haven't missed a huge
Yeah.
move, so
If you really want to feel good, I bought it in April for $9.73 a coin.
oh, 973.
$9.73.
Oh, that makes me feel great.
Oh, you're gloating.
I sure am.
Good. Buy the next
Okay.
round.
Well, glad that worked out for you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I knew it was in
Congratulations.
towards 1,000, but I didn't think it went that
Yeah.
high when I
Yeah.
when I misunderstood what you said. But
Hmm.
all right, yeah, 630 was the highest. Well, it got a little bit higher,
Got all those high.
670 in April. So
All right. Well, thanks for looking at that. It was one that was sort of on my schedule today, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't do anything. I was just trying to figure it out.
yeah, you're welcome. Anything else you guys want to look at before we go to iCoinPro?
I want to know if Rebecca sold at 18 and doubled her money, or if she's still holding.
No such luck. I'm still holding. I wish
That's
I
a
would.
good thing.
Now, obviously, hodling is not the focus of my day trading show, but
True.
that's a great strategy if you don't want to day trade or even swing trade. So, you know,
If
as
it
long
ever-
as you don't need the funds right away, you know, the bummer is if, you know, is if you need that money and you're your coin crashes to, you know, $3 or something. And, you know, so that's the risk you take when you hodl, but, you know, over time, and if you don't need the money right away, it's the way to go. So, but if you want to generate daily and or weekly income, I like day trading. So obviously it's a good idea to do both. You know, I have some that I hold, and then, you know, and then this kind of approach generates income ideally. Okay, so yeah, we need to go over to iCoinPro. And this is the Buddy coin crawler. Let's look at the RSI SPY real quick. This is the tool that shows the RSI values of various coin pairs. Now that I'm trading more on Coinbase Pro, I've got both of those listed, so I can see, you know, both of those in this column. I sort by the 1 hour RSI. This is high to low at the moment. We're looking for values if we want to short something, you know, 70 or higher. And since the market's been pumping pretty strong the last couple of days, a lot of these values are up there. So what we're looking for if we want dip trades is the opposite. We're looking for values 30 or less, and we don't have any. And here's why. If we go to our fear and greed index, we're going through extreme greed right now. This lags by a day, so that was updated today, but most of the time I look at this in the morning and it's yesterday's date. So in the oversold index, you know, almost nothing is oversold, everything's overbought, which is why those values are so high on that on this sort. So there's really nothing in here that we can rely on for, you know, for day trading on spot. So we're gonna go over to my favorites tool, which is the Buddy coin crawler. And for you folks who are new, this is the sort I use, the average low to the SMA. Quick explanation, it's the 24-hour low of the token up to the SMA line, which is that pink line you see between the Bollinger Bands on my chart. So I'm looking for values 5% or higher, ideally. You know, we've already looked at WaxP, or just Wax, whatever they call it. Its value is over 8%. ACH is a coin that's been hot on Coinbase Pro. Let's give this one a look. Got drop down menu and it'll open a new trading view window. So all right, look at the day chart. It's a recent listing on Coinbase Pro, so we don't have much history. So in that situation, I'm going to see if I can find, you know, another listing of it. And I've got one on Huobi, and it's not very useful. It was, you know, less than a penny pretty much until it got the listing. So all right, so the day chart's not that useful, other than we know it pumped up to 24 cents, dropped down. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I was fearing last night when I was looking at Wax, that it would, but I was at this level here, this first candle, and there was a second one that went up, so I should have jumped on that first candle. Anyway, 1 hour charts moving up nicely. The 5 minute. Yeah, it'd be a little risky, but you could do a trend trade up here, see if it'll retrace back to the high it had yesterday morning or early this morning. But, you know, that's not a desirable entry to get, you know, 2-3%. I think that's too risky. So again, I'm going to be hanging around down here, you know, trying to get that that good entry point. We've got some short-term support right around 11.9. Yeah, 11.8 cents in this area here. Maybe catch it down here at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. And we've got that 5% going to the SMA line, which, those are the kind of day trades we like. All right. Let's look at one more on iCoinPro. We're getting below 5%, but someone asked me about AMP, I think, on Friday. Let's check this one out. AMP on Coinbase is listed June. And again, we had the sort of the delayed pump here. When it pumped here, I think gave all that back, then pumped again. Very strange. We're starting to see these kind of patterns on some of these newer listings. No fundamentals at all, just random pumps, it seems like to me. 1 hour, it has been pumping recently, but it has retraced. 12%, back up here, 7%. Might be able to catch something on this one. Yeah, we're at the SMA line on the 5-minute. We're just below it. Get a couple of candles here, you might be able to, you've got, 2% to this resistance. More resistance here, just under 4. A little bit more, 5.5. And over here from this morning, almost 10. So yeah, if you're going to do a trend trade above the SMA line in a squeeze like this, this is the kind of retrace I'm looking for. I do still think this is kind of risky, but again, maybe use a smaller portion than you would usually use on a trade in case you have to ladder buy. Or you could put a not so low buy order around here, just below the Bollinger Band. If you catch that, then yeah, 3.5% to the SMA line. It's a pretty good trade. All right. Any other questions about the coins we looked at or anything else on iCoinPro?
What about Loop Ring, LRC?
LRC. I mentioned earlier that it was shown on the losers today on Altcoin
Right.
Alert. I thought it was on my list, but it's not.
Yeah, it's down about 10% at the moment today.
Yeah, big pump yesterday. And then, big drop today. Almost 20%.
Right. So does this have the 1, 2, 3?
It's starting. We've got a
Going.
bubble. And usually they sort of trickle down, but this one's just crashing down. Do the Bitcoin drop? Shoot, I lost you guys.
No, you still got us.
Okay. Tried to move this this bar out of my way. I don't know if you can see it, but all right. So I'm on the 5-minute on Bitcoin, and yeah, it is dropping. So that would explain what we're seeing. Yeah. 1% drop on Bitcoin can be 2, 5, 10% on an altcoin like Loopring. So you kind of have to trade 2 coins in this situation. Keep an eye on Bitcoin, see if it's going to recover, and then you see what kind of pattern you get out of Loopring. See if you can get a 1, 2, 3 dip. Maybe catch that down here. SMA line, it's probably gonna be about 4 or 5%. I like it. So we're not there yet. It's only done a single dip, never buy the first dip. Sometimes you'll get a second dip and a MACD cross, but it's usually best to wait for the third. And if Bitcoin's still looking, still looking like it wants to drop, then Might wait for a fourth or fifth dip. Patience is so annoying, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Any other coins? Okay, I will throw it open to any questions you guys have on crypto. iCoinPro, Altcoin Alert, day trading, swing trading, even hodling if you must. But
And do you want to look at Matic?
all right,
Sorry, again,
sure. We can look at Matic.
went down a little bit, so.
All right, yeah, it's dropping with Bitcoin right at the moment. Big picture.
Yeah, but we need these drops so we can get in on some of these.
Yeah, they're great for
Right now.
entries. They're annoying if you're in something already, but
True, true.
so that's how I think about it.
Right.
I think I've got 1 or 2 spot coins open right now, so not a big deal.
I
Okay.
bet you the majority of us on these calls, I bet you we are learning to day trade. We're doing some spot trade because we haven't figured out the day trade thing quite yet, and we're
Mhm.
hodling. So we're probably doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah,
with you.
that's
Spot on.
yeah.
there you
most
go.
of-
See,
Yeah.
most of
we
my time.
appreciate all you're teaching us.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I do it. I joined CryptNation to learn how to swing trade and to hodl or do longer term trades because I started as a day trader, which is unusual. But anyway, so Matic day, day chart coming back. Nice pump over the last few days, leveling off over the weekend, dropping a little bit as we talked about. This could be going into something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And wait for some confirmation. When you see a dip sequence like this, and check Bitcoin too before you pull the trigger. So if you get something like this, get in or towards the bottom of the Bollinger Band. It's only 1%, not that great. On Matic, I trade this one with leverage sometimes. And then I also like there's on FTX, you can get Matic Bull. I've traded that successfully before, and that's a 3x leverage token. So that can pump up your earnings and potential losses, 3x. So, but if you're just looking to get in on more of a swing trade, on the hour chart, some pretty good support here. About 157, 158. We're kind of close to that now. I'm going back a few days. I think we're in for a bigger dip, then there's more support down here on 130. So just depends what your goal is. I mean, I don't really like it as a day trade. Just I think there are better options where you can make more money. But if you want to swing trade it and or use the FTX token, like I mentioned, that might be a way to go. If you want to hodl it, if you believe in this project, and a lot of people do, then ladder in probably down here in this vicinity.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Let's
Can I
check.
ask you a question?
Sure.
I am staking some of my coins. Can I be paid in Bitcoin, the percentage of, what I'm staking?
No, if you're staking, you'll get paid in whatever coin you're staking. So,
If you use Bitcoin,
but if you use Bitcoin, yeah, then you get paid in Bitcoin. But
Well, I'm using like Link.
yeah, that's what I assumed. So yeah, if you're staking Link or ADA or DOT or some of those that have a lot of staking options, then they'll pay you in that token. Yeah, to my knowledge, you can't stake, DOT and get paid in Bitcoin.
So on this, if I'm staking in Ethereum 2, the second one, I'm being paid in Ethereum?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
that's
never
my,
seen staking pay anything but the coin you're staking.
yeah, me neither. I haven't done a lot of it. I've done it 4 or 5 times, and it's always been the coin I was staking. It didn't really even occur to me to, try to get something else. I like where your mind is going, especially with, Bitcoin hitting 50. So, but yeah, the best you can do is take that coin and try to swap it for Bitcoin if you want to accumulate more than that. And that is a strategy. It is a strategy to day trade and accumulate, USD and USDT, and then take that money and buy Bitcoin and then stash the Bitcoin. I mean, that's something that, the CryptNation guys talk about, and that would apply to staking as well. Take your staking profits and buy Bitcoin, and then, I think you can stake Bitcoin too, but I don't think it pays that well, but I don't know much about it.
I don't think it does. I think it's like 1 or 2% or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I'd rather just leave it in my wallet in that situation. So,
Okay.
all right. Morgan's asking about ADA. I was trading ADA today.
Let me interrupt you for a second.
Okay,
Bitcoin pays, I think Celsius pay like 6%.
that's not bad.
So if you guys need a code for Celsius, I'll give you one.
All right. So contact Massimo if you want to stake, stake Bitcoin on Celsius.
Okay.
For now, we've been asking about ADA.
Yeah, just right quick, Celsius is the big dog now. They outpaced BlockFi with staking Bitcoin.
Good to know.
What did you say? What did you just say?
Yeah, go ahead again, Morgan.
Yeah, sorry about that. BlockFi used to be the big dog when it comes to staking Bitcoin. Celsius jumped ahead of them the last couple of months. So Massimo was correct.
All right.
Okay.
So actually, I think that's an APR percentage what they pay, kind of like what Voyager just gives you for holding the coins.
Correct.
That's not staking. Staking is
No,
where you're gonna get
it is
your money.
correct.
You're gonna get some coins back, not the percentage that you get. And remember, that percentage is off of a 12-month APR. Just because you get a deposit in your account every like 18 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, you see that going on. That doesn't mean that you're getting that like every hour or 3 hours, or when you see that deposit in there.
Thanks for
Right.
the clarification.
That's a good thing to clarify. So it's essentially 0.5% a month, and 6% a year. So,
Okay.
all right. ADA, you're welcome. ADA is an all-time high. That's why it intrigued me today. So I would shorten it semi-successfully. Okay, big pump up last few days. I think we all know that. And looks like it's dropping with Bitcoin right now. Yeah, Bitcoin
What would be a
still.
good entry point at this point with ADA?
You got to
Let's
watch
wait
Bitcoin at the same time, because we have a bunch of red candles here on the 5-minute on Bitcoin, and ADA's kind of mimicking. Oh,
Okay.
shit, that's the wrong one. That's what I want. It's mimicking that. So, I can't really give you an entry at the moment, but there's some support here at 285. It looks like it's breaking. So next support in the short term is down here at 280. Yeah, between like 276 and 280 would be is short-term support for the last few days. Then all the way down to like 250. So if you want to day trade it, I'd wait for a defined dip sequence, like I've talked about before. If if you want to buy it and hodl it or swing trade it for a while, then I'd probably suggest laddering in around 280, 270, 260, 250, that kind of thing.
Okay.
All
Thanks.
right, you're welcome. Okay, I'll take a couple chats. All right, some cool stuff in the chat if you guys want to see it. So Andy's talking about how he He pays his mortgage and utilities on a Coinbase credit card, gets 4% graph GRT. That's cool. I should look into that. And mining 188 a day. I like it.
Yeah, I do the same. I'm starting to do the same thing. I use the crypto.com Ruby card.
I like it. All right,
Which one-
guys. What was that?
Which one do you think is better, the Coinbase or the crypto.com credit card?
No idea. What do you think, Pat?
I don't know. I like the crypto.com just because like the other day, I took $1,000 out. I sent 500 to my savings account and I put 500 on my card. My savings account was there in 72 hours and my card was there instantly. So if I've got to have cash, I can move as much as $10,000 to my card instantly, and I've got cash to spend if I need to. But that's all I've ever used. I stake 5,000 CRO on there and make my money on that, and I've been happy to do it. So I don't know about Coinbase. I've kind of stayed away from them except until they went pro, and then I got over into some pro. But most of my stuff is on KuCoin, Crypto.com, and CoinX.
Yeah, Coinbase has alienated a lot of people with their poor customer service. So even when they have something good, you know, sometimes it's hard for those of us who've been crypto for over a year or so to come around to it. So again, there's some more comments in the chat about that if you want to follow it. I've got to get going, guys. So I will let you guys go and hope to see all or most of you.
Appreciate it, CJ.
Thank you,
You're
CJ.
welcome. Hope
Thank
we'll
you
see
very
all-
much, CJ, for everything you do. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Hope to see you guys on Fridays. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night. Happy trading.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.